Hey. Welcome to another episode of Legal Shit. Yeah. We're here for one of our nighttime live episodes. Usually we're here on Saturday mornings, but we've been doing some nighttime episodes. They're a lot more fun, I think, sometimes. Yeah. Right? So on this episode of Legal Shit, we're here with Mark Valero. Now, you said there's a different pronunciation, right?
Well, it depends on where you're from. I'm from up north, so they say Valero.
Where are you from?
Rhode Island.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm from New York, so we say... I don't know what we say. New York. Anyway, Mark, I'm going to say Valero because that's the way it sounds to me or looks to me. He's the business development manager for Credimax, located in Boca Raton, Florida. So welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Tom.
And I'm here with my lovely and talented co-host and wife, Antoinette, who really runs the show here. I just do what she says, and we all do. And
he fights. He fights. It's like a kid, he fights.
I fight everything.
And I still get my way.
And she still gets away. I end up running,
So skip the fight and just let me have my way.
That's your job, is to fight. You don't want to settle, right?
Yeah.
So Credimax is a Florida-based lending group that helps individuals and businesses navigate home and commercial mortgages, I guess, right?
That's correct.
And various types of lending.
Yep.
SBA lending, things like that.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that, which is extremely important these days, especially. And I'm going to ask you about interest rates and how that's affecting the marketplace, things of that nature. I know the Fed just held interest rates today. I believe they went online and said they're going to hold interest rates and not going to change them.
They're going to hold it right now, but we anticipate them going down at some point again.
Yep. And I'm hoping to go down soon because I have a couple more years left and I got to refinance this place on my commercial loan. I got a 20-year pay up with a 5-year balloon.
I know a guy. So
okay, good.
I know a guy.
Excellent.
Can we finish the description, please? Goodness. I did all that work. Finish it.
So this is Mark is going to talk about first-time home buyers, investors looking for various types of loans or in need of various types of loans, and break down what you as a business owner or a first-time home buyer or a home owner who wants to refinance, things of that nature. Mark's here to break it down for us. And because he knows a lot more than I do, and I don't know shit about all that kind of stuff. I know a little bit, but not too much.
It's good. Yeah. Because now we're going to learn something. I'm happy to learn.
Well, welcome, Mark.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what you do, where you're from, all kinds of the good stuff.
Yeah. Mark Valero. I'm with Credimax Lending Group, and we're based out of Boca Raton, Florida. I am the director of business development. So essentially, I just help create relationships and grow, not just internally with our company, but also realtors and loan officers alike that are, orbit around the industry as well.
Gotcha. So you're the guy that has the fun part of the job.
I'm the relationships. Just call me public relations.
You're at the dinners and the bars and the restaurants, having drinks and cocktails and mingling with crowds, mingling it.
That's how I met him. I met him at the Munsters group. Brittany and I was marketing Legal Shit, trying to get our content. And I hope everyone like our shirts. This is the new shirt.
We got new shirts.
Yeah. I do. The logo's great.
Thank you, which I designed.
You did. Antoinette designed. I came up with the name. People asked, well, what do you want to talk about? And I said, I'll probably talk about legal shit since I'm a lawyer. So I came up with the name, and Antoinette came up with the logo.
He was like, put me on a toilet. I'm like, okay. Sounds like.
I said, we need a lawyer on a toilet. So there you go. So now we have legal shit T-shirts.
Yeah. Most people are on the phone in the bathroom, on the toilet.
Exactly.
Spend about an hour. You're not even really supposed to be there that long.
Gotcha.
But they're distracted on their phone doing their work. So
it's very catchy. It's very catchy.
So Mark, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started into the world of lending and finance.
Well, so I started out in about 2004 in the debt industry, debt settlement, debt management, credit restoration. I had a startup that I ran from 2007 to 2017-ish. In about 2013 or 14, I started dabbling in the healthcare and developing some different avenues there with innovation with technology, telemedicine per se.
Right.
And started to segue into healthcare and generated a very lucrative healthcare business, landing some government contracts with the Los Angeles Unified School District, where we provided healthcare to underprivileged children, via telemedicine. And then I got into health insurance, kind of segued there because just to be honest with you, the travel that the medical business was taking from me was taken away from my family, and it was kind of draining. And I found it just easier to sit and, remotely anywhere and open up a computer and be able to talk to people, because that's what I like to do.
Right.
And sell health insurance. So I did that for a while, although it was a bit draining. It still took away from my family a little bit. And then about 6 months ago, a colleague of mine that I've known for about 20 years, Marlon Hernandez, who owns Credimax, he's had it for about 10 years, a little over 10 years.
Gotcha.
And brought me in to do business development, kind of expand. Marlon has a lot of roots out of the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
And the Spanish market.
Oh, wow. Booming, by the way.
And he does great in there, and he's had a lot of success. And he wanted to bring the gringo aboard to try to translate for him. No, he speaks good English, but Marlon's he's a great guy. I think Antoinette, you might have met him briefly.
Yeah.
He's a really flavorful person. He's got a huge heart. He's had a lot of success. He does right by the clients. So, I was kind of brought in to kind of team up with him and expand, in the local market here.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
So what motivates you the most in this industry?
Helping people.
Yeah.
Helping people.
Yeah.
That's always my motivation. That's one. Is not more gratifying than helping people.
Yeah.
I always say if you give, you receive. Like
100%.
the more you give, the more you receive.
The more you take, the less you get.
And especially if you give to the right people. I'm not saying just to give to takers. Give to the right people, and it comes back in abundance.
No, I still think back, even today, to the 2008, 2009, 2010. No, not before then. Before then, the 2000, 2001, 2002, maybe even into 2003, where people were making, $25,000 a year buying $600,000 homes.
Sure. Well, those were Photoshop loans, I'm sure.
Yeah. They didn't. No one checked anything.
I don't know.
A lot of people, I think, got in trouble for that too. I wasn't, in there, but I was kind of like orbited around with the debt industry I was in, and when the subprime took a dump, that was big time for us in our industry. But you saw a lot of mortgage brokers and real estate agents coming over to our industry because they were losing, their income. So you hear horror stories, and I've heard a few.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about loans or mortgages, or, people always have a thing about mortgages and notes they don't quite understand. So I thought I'd just take a second to let people know what the difference is, because people always say, I got to pay my mortgage. Actually, you're paying your note.
That's correct. That's a note on the house.
It's actually a promissory note that you give a promise to pay the bank or the lender a certain amount of money over a period of time. And the mortgage is just backup, or it's for the note. It backs up the note. So it's security for the note. Mm-hmm. So the note is the actual instrument that you're paying. The mortgage is the security for the note, that if you default on the note, they get your property or your home.
They take the home.
Okay. So I just want to put that out there, because a lot of people always say, I pay my mortgage. I say, you don't pay your mortgage, you're actually paying your note. But anyway, I understand. I got you.
Oh, what's the difference?
Well, you're not paying a mortgage.
A mortgage?
Paying a note for the mortgage.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
The note is secured by the mortgage.
And the house is leveraged.
Right. That's right.
Oh, so they'll take your house if you don't pay.
Correct. It's like putting up security. It's like putting up
mortgage.
Yeah. It's like putting up a piece of,
just like
it's
a
like
car
putting
note.
up a bond or a car note or something. If you don't pay the car note, they repossess your car.
Yeah.
But anyway, the note anyway. Okay. Note mortgages. Just remember
remember
the mortgage is the security for the note. The note is the actual instrument you're paying for. Okay. So what type of mortgages and loans are you working on?
Well, I mean, right now, Credimax specializes in all lending. Regular traditional loans for mortgages,
like a conventional loan.
640 credit score. Decent debt to income ratio. We do non-QM loans, which are non-qualified mortgages, mm-hmm. which are for people that don't fit in that traditional box. So those are people that either don't have a social security number, or they're a small business that don't have the tax returns that really justify the purchase,
support,
but they have a profit and loss that we could justify with that. And then we do SBA loans as well for small and medium-sized businesses.
Okay. Those are interesting loans. Talk a little bit about SBA loans, because I know they're kind of interesting and how they work. I know there's you can get a loan for a very low interest rate for 30 years.
I mean, it really depends. They vary. It depends on what you're looking for, how much you're looking for, and what your current situation is as a company as well.
Okay.
Your profit margins have to be somewhat reasonable. You have to have decent credit. Even if you're a startup, there's got to be some kind of liquidity in there to leverage or a borrower. But with the SBA loans, we work with over 200 lenders on that aspect.
Okay, wow.
So we are pretty successful on getting people the financing backing, the financial backing.
I always thought, so the SBA is a government loan, right, from the government, but then certain lenders offer SBA loans. In other words, they work with the government to offer the loans to other people.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah, they're bonded through the government. They're able to offer these loans. They're not hard cash loans. They're not like hard loans from a loan shark named Tony down the street.
Okay, that's hard cash. Yeah. I'm like,
what's that? A hard money lender?
Yeah.
No. That's not like 12% interest kind of thing.
There's a certain space for hard money lenders, but I've had so many cases over the last 30 years, and they all involve hard money lenders.
Yeah, it's
because they have
tough
a choice,
because
right?
It's a high interest and
no bullshit.
If you ever saw Goodfellas, can't pay your electric.
Yeah, that's right. You got to pay the man.
Yeah.
But they're also very aggressive when it comes time if you don't pay.
Yeah, that's
there's no workout teams.
There's a real popular industry of loans out there right now called MCA loans, which are merchant cash advance loans. We stay away from those personally. I personally don't feel comfortable in that arena, but there's a hotbed for that, especially here in South Florida with a lot of the merchant accounts where they leverage your merchant purchases daily to pay on the loan. And if you don't pay, they are very aggressive. And that's just something I personally prefer to stay out of. I know Marlon's not into that. SBA is clean. It's not as easy as an MCA loan because those people are willing to give the money because the high interest, but there is those other options out there. We don't deal with those lending.
Gotcha.
No, I'm listening. This is new to me. I mean, I've never bought. My mom bought the first house.
Okay.
You bought the second house. Or my mom bought her second house. Your house. You bought a few homes. I'm learning. This dog.
This is our. You can hear our mascot in the background, like a little.
She is a sweetheart.
Yeah. She's a little dog, and she's running around barking at people like she's the biggest dog on the block. But she's a little tiny thing, weighs no more than a laptop here.
And she's 14 years old. I'm so proud of myself.
Awesome.
Antoinette stretches her. I mean, this dog is like pampered.
I know. I wish I was pampered.
Oh my Lord.
If I stretched my dog, he'd probably bite my nose.
Oh no!
I got to wear a full-on body kit into the bed.
What kind of dog?
He's a French bulldog, but he thinks he's more bulldog than French. So got a little bit of French in it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm a first-time home buyer. What do I need to think about?
Well, I mean, being a first-time home buyer, you have an advantage because typically you get lower rates. Your credit score can be typically a little lower. Now, the sweet spot, for anybody trying to get borrowing is let's go with 640 as a benchmark.
Right.
But you can go subpar, even as far as 580. As a first-time home buyer. 2 years of stated income.
Right.
Bank statements, etc. But first-time home buyers have an advantage. Right now, we are we're becoming a buyer's market here.
Gotcha.
So that's your credit, guys. He's talking about your credit score.
Yes, that is correct. I am talking about your credit score.
I didn't know that. I was like, I kind of know this one. Go ahead.
Wow.
So, first-time home buyers have a great advantage right now. To get into a home. Low interest rates, lower than your investors or your second-time home buyers.
Right.
What about women?
Oh, I don't think it goes by gender.
Oh,
I think it's illegal.
What?
I think it is.
Back in the day.
No, I think it's illegal to discriminate against someone.
Forget you guys.
My wife's a realtor, and she's not allowed.
First-time buyers. What about income?
Well, as far as income, it goes down
being
to
a woman or a single parent, nothing like that.
It comes down income, absolutely, but not with
Single
females.
parents?
Now they do have like veteran options, for veterans, hometown hero kind of scenario.
What do you? What do you want?
I'm hoping the women. I mean, we work so hard.
Well, you got to make some money. Make some money and you can afford it, but you can, you can't make no money and have a 450 credit score and get a home.
The single woman, single moms.
I don't know if banks really see gender. All they see is green. It's about money.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I guess.
Yes, that's the difference between hard money lenders and banks. banks have teams that do workouts. They look at your situation. They say, well, we don't really want to, we'll try to work with you. But hard money lenders are like, I want the money now.
Yep.
But they give it to you fast. Like, here
they give
you
it to you
go.
fast and they take it away fast. They really,
they're real quick to give it, but they're getting quicker to come back for it.
They have no workout teams. There's just no working out. It's pay me or we'll just
I'm gonna take your legs.
Yeah, not to be stereotypical. We don't have any Tonys or Louis working, and I'm Italian, so I'm throwing a shot.
Okay,
there.
Gotcha. All right, so first-time home buyers are usually looking for some sort of first-time home buyer deal.
Yeah, the FHA loans.
Loans,
and that allows them to to qualify for lower interest rates. It's always great. And a little trick too. A lot of people, these young couples that are out there thinking about getting married, a great investment. You can do what you want, but I would wait to get married if you guys are already living together. And you're not married, you both qualify for your own individual. So buy 2 homes, and then when you get married, you use one as your primary residential, and the other you can use as investment property.
Wow, nice. There you go.
That's smart.
I like that.
But if you get married before and you go to buy an investment property, you don't get the FHA loan.
Gotcha. See that?
What?
Why don't you meet him before we were married? What were you thinking? Well, I'm telling you,
blame
man.
Brittany. She was.
It's all Brittany's fault.
So Brittany's behind the camera, guys.
Brittany's behind the camera, our producer over there.
What she does is she helps me go out and be more more social and help organize stuff with me.
Anyway, but that's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. I mean, if you really are patient enough. I mean, I'm not saying I did it or didn't do it, but for me and my wife, we've been together for 23 years. I waited 9 years to actually get married.
Gotcha.
I didn't see the rush. But if people are patient and they are, you got a lot of these the younger generation right now, they're doing the Bitcoin thing, and some are getting smart with money. I mean, even my 17-year-old son, he's doing these fake portfolios.
Not like that, he has a 17-year-old son.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy too. He's super smart,
goodness.
but he has he does like simulated trading.
Yes, I've heard.
He doesn't actually play with real money, but
they're teaching them how to do it.
Correct. Yeah. So these kids are getting smarter, and I'm sure that me saying that's not some new news to the younger generation.
Gotcha.
It makes sense. I mean, I just grew up in the wrong generation.
Listen, I grew up a long time before you, so I don't know what generation. I'm actually the end of the baby boomers.
Yeah.
I was born in 1958, so I'm like the very tail end of the baby boomers. So
I don't know what generation.
I don't know anymore.
I'm a Gen Z.
Gen X.
I don't know either.
I lost track. Yeah. I lost track of all the gens.
I'm in my 40s. So
okay, there you go. I've shirts older than that, but anyway.
No, you don't, because I got rid of them. All the holy ones.
Oh, goodness. And holy not meaning holy.
No, they literally have holes in them.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they had
he
a few
sends
tears.
he sends them to dry clean. They still get dry clean, but eventually they wear and tear after 10 years and more.
Yeah, but there's nothing like a freshly worn out t-shirt.
A freshly worn out t-shirt.
Guys have a hard time letting go of comfort. If it fits right and it's comfortable, you don't want to let it go.
I know. Those are my old Tommy Bahama shirts that would wear out from the dry cleaning, and unfortunately they have to be dry cleaned, which wears them out. But the dry cleaning was, but anyway,
it's not the dry clean that wears them out. It's time.
Oh, I guess okay.
It's called time.
Well, I guess when you have 8 or 10 years. Okay,
it's tough.
Let
it's attached to you,
We don't want to talk about letting things go.
No, but my stuff is still nice. Everything I have is really nice.
Women's closets, 500 dresses, and they wear 6 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, but we only wear it 6 times. He wears his stuff every week.
No,
he puts in there.
No, my wife will go in the closet, and it's like clockwork. Every time we have to go somewhere, she's got to go to work. She'll go through 10 different outfits in a half hour, and she'll say, "I got nothing to wear.
I have nothing to wear.
Nothing to wear."
And I look at her closet. I'm like, "Golly, you got a lot of clothes."
Wow.
But that's women
because it's
know
for
what
the
they
right
want.
occasion. I'm like, there has to be a time and place for every outfit.
Anyway, maybe we can sell some dresses and buy a house. But anyway, we don't have to go to the. We wouldn't have to. I know a guy. There you go.
I know a guy.
So there's a first-time home buyer. Now, let's say I'm a second-time home buyer, or just second-time home buyer. I want to sell a house, buy a house. Investors.
Yeah. So
what are we looking for?
You're probably looking at a little higher credit score. Because you're not the first time, so they're not going to lower the bar. Interest rates could vary as well. You could be looking at a higher interest rate. And the finances have to be together. I mean, you have to have a pretty good debt to income ratio, and you can't just kind of be all over the place.
Right.
And I know that that's kind of like the biggest hang up right now is where you're seeing, people might have the credit score, but they're a little extended. I know we went through a period in the last couple of years where, groceries were even up a lot. So,
they're still up.
People didn't get paid more, but things were more expensive. So it made it difficult for people to qualify. And even in that same breath, inventory went down. So there was a higher demand for living. And you had a lot of investors coming in and just paying cash buys and beating out the people that wanted to get lending. So
interesting.
Different market though. It swings quick. Here we are 2 or 3 years later and the market's more of a buyer's market. And
that's what I've heard. It's a buyer's market.
Yeah.
Who did we just hear that from?
Maybe Morgan.
We just had I don't know if you're familiar with Eric and Morgan, Eric Schreiber, Morgan Thompson. I don't know. They're local real estate people, and we had them on recently. They're good friends of ours, and they were just saying there seems to be a buyer's market now.
Yeah, just shifted into his buyer's market. You're seeing a lot more, people searching, and there'll be some inventory opening up, here soon. Where you're going to see a lot more of a boom. Rates are going to go down soon.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a prediction now. It's not like a guarantee. So don't hold me to it.
There's our mascot, by the way. Just more.
She's good.
What's her credit score? What's your credit score? Look at her. What's her credit score?
She's a diva. She doesn't need one.
Oh Lord, man, I'll tell you. So let's talk about commercial loans a little bit.
Commercial loans.
How do they differ, or if they differ from the typical conventional loan?
It's not much different. I mean, you can go into a scenario where you can leverage other properties, rental income to buy, more commercial property, expanding your portfolio, et cetera. So that there is that aspect. But, as far as the lending, whether it's corporation or an individual, there has to be the finances in order, and in some way, shape, or form, whether it's personal, whether it's the business, whether it's the profit and loss. So there's something called a non-QM loan, which we specialize in as well, which is kind of unique, where there's these people that don't qualify for traditional lending. And if they want to get property, whether you're an investor, builder, whatever the case may be, you can get things based on your profit and loss, your bank statements.
Gotcha.
And there are lenders out there that will lend for that. And they're not hard lenders. They're not going to have Tony or Anthony showing up.
We don't like Tony and Anthony showing up. What are you talking about? You haven't paid my bill. What are you doing here? Pay the money or else,
I'm just here for it. Stop looking at me. I have no answers. I have no questions because I'm still learning. I don't know this stuff.
Good. Well, hopefully other people learning. So how about self-employed individuals?
Self-employed, those can vary. So if you show the income in the tax return, you can probably fit into a traditional loan.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're more of a self-employed contract worker that doesn't have the tax return but has like profit and loss sheet or whatever the case may be, you can run off of that in the non-QM space. So there's still options there. Rates will go a little higher on the non-traditional, obviously, because it's a little more of a risk.
Okay.
More risk, more cost.
Because they never know what your income is going to be every year.
Correct.
If you're not.
I don't know what I got this place for. I forget. I mean, I bought it. I own this place. I don't rent it.
It's a great spot.
I bought it, and I want to say 3.75%.
Oh wow, that's really low.
So. It was 2.5, 3 years ago. So
that's really good.
Yeah,
that's a good rate. No, it's a great spot, great location.
Yeah. Here we are in legal shit downtown.
I love it.
I mean, unlike most of America, when there's a dip in across the country, fortunately, where we live, we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that back in like 2007, where the subprime went and took a hit.
Right.
But still in Palm Beach County, we only saw like 11% dip in properties. I mean, there were foreclosures, but not to the near extent that there were across the country.
Gotcha. So if I'm going to come to you, we're going to Mark. We're going to get a loan. I want a loan. I want a mortgage. I want to get a house. What type of paperwork should I start gathering and get together?
Obviously, bank statements, tax returns. Those are important. First and foremost, you come to like a company like ours, and you're going to get a couple of questions asked to you. How's your credit? We can pull that.
Right.
That's cost free. Get a consultation and get an idea. Well, what do you make? What do you think you make? And then we have the pre-qual, and that's where we'll get an idea where you're at. And if you're in a sweet spot, then we'll get a pre-qualification approval,
Gotcha.
kind of scenario.
And I know what it is, but explain what a pre-qualification is, just so people know that.
Well, I mean, a pre-qual is, you would come, we gather up all your information. We'd run it in to see if everything checks out and make sure, and you get a pre-qualification approval, pre-approval.
So that's like it's like getting I guess a pre-qualification for a car loan. You can borrow, you can pay X amount for a car. You walk into a car dealership, and I've already got $35,000 in my pocket to buy it.
You're getting the okay. You're getting the green check mark, like saying, "Hey, I got a pre-approval. I'm ready to buy." As opposed to a pre-qualification is, well, you're coming in and getting an idea of a strategy and how you want to get a place.
Gotcha.
But you don't know if you qualify yet.
So I come to you. I want to buy a house. I have my paperwork. How long do you think from the time I first meet you to the time I finally get a loan? What's the average time? Is
30 days. 30 days.
Oh, really?
Again, it varies because you have other variables in there, like the title company, and you got the realtor in there. So typically, it's about a 30-day turnaround.
Okay. And you guys also do refinancing?
Refinancing as well.
Okay. And how does that work?
I mean, it just depends.
Do you know a guy? I may be needing some in the next couple of years.
I do know a guy. No, I'm not a loan officer. I'm the business development guy. But yeah, they do refinances. A couple of years down the road, typically, if there's some equity in the home. So
okay.
That would apply. But things got to be in order. There's got to be, can't be upside down on the mortgage, etc.
Yep.
So would you go to when a person wants to buy something, do they go to the realtor first, or do they find you first?
Well, no, I mean, it depends. A lot of people are word of mouth, or they see a sign, they're like, hey, we've seen it both ways. We have people calling to us.
Yeah.
And then we also have realtors bring people to us. Okay. Typically the realtors are more of the aggressive, scenario, because they're out there trying to get business. There's a lot of them. I think there's like over a million realtors in Florida.
Yeah.
Whatnot. So they're doing a lot of the boots on the ground, grabbing the customer, identifying them, and trying to get them to the lender. So our relationships are more with real estate agents, because the realtor is bringing the customer to us already, kind of scenario. But we do get people that call us and say, hey, I saw this house. I want to get pre-approved for it. And that's where we kind of
they already know their stuff. They kind of
they want to get and some people don't like to deal with realtors. I mean, it's not uncommon. It's like you go to the car dealership, you don't want to deal with the salesman,
Okay.
But there's a purpose for everything.
Yeah. Because sometimes the realtors will know certain things that it'll take you a couple of days to even figure out, or you may miss it.
Well, and they're taking on the liability too. They are walking you through. And again, my wife's a realtor. She does a great job. She's very passionate about it. And there is a lot there's a lot that goes into it. There's a whole lot that goes into it.
Interesting.
So you guys are the power couple.
I don't know about power couple. We're on two different sides of the spectrum.
But it's still a great balance. You can ask each other questions.
Yeah, we can fight from the opposite sides of the table.
Excellent.
Don't worry, we do have a share of fighting.
I think so. I'm looking. I was thinking about like loan documents and this and that, and if there's any pitfalls that people should look for, but they're pretty standard, the loan documents.
Everything's pretty standard when it comes to the mortgage industry, especially since what happened at the subprime in 2007 and 8. Things have gotten a lot more strict. It's black and white. There's no gray. There's a lot more of a protocol to get the proper documents and everything. You can't just slide things around. Now, the non-QM loans, the non-traditional ones, there's a little more flexibility, but again, there's a higher interest rate to that as well. So there's a higher down payment.
Right.
You might need a higher credit score just to get into those kind of loans. But that's kind of what we do, is we expand the ability for realtors to get more business, to grow their business. And that's giving them more options than just your traditional one piece. You got a menu. You got the number one, which is the Big Mac. That's the regular traditional loan. Then you can have the double quarter pounder.
I like that. Interesting. I know people, when they get into real estate contracts, they have people that are financing, have a financing writer usually. Yeah,
like a underwriter and title company who come in. There's usually three parties that are involved. You get the real estate and the broker, the realtor side. If we're talking about for the buyer.
Right.
When it comes to the seller's got their team too, and then you might throw an attorney in there that comes from the real estate side. The real estate side, we usually have the attorney look over the documentation stuff, and the title company would have an attorney as well. And then you have the mortgage broker that does the lending portion.
Okay. Yeah. So do you work with attorneys much in doing the actual lending, or not really?
Occasionally we don't see as much because it usually comes from the title company or the realtor side. We don't get as much of a need for that. Ours is pretty black and white. You're either approved or you're not. You know? And for what percentage amount you are approved for. They'll cover 80% or they'll cover 75%. And that's going to dictate the down payment as well.
Interesting. I know title companies, you know, a lot of people call me and said, you know, I'm thinking of buying a house. You want to help me out? And I'm like, I can. But you really don't need my help too much, because unlike other states like New York and stuff, where the lawyers are really involved in the process.
Sure.
Here, the title company just does everything basically.
You're right. State of Florida doesn't require, you know, an attorney in hand, but there are times where they'll get involved. They'll have to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, buyer makes a commitment, then wants to back out. You know, so you're looking for those back out clauses. You know? So that's kind of what you're looking at.
I usually, when I handle people's real estate transactions, if they want me to do it, what I do is I take a look at their contract. I calendar all their deadlines to make sure they don't miss the inspection period deadline and the payment deadline and the financing deadline, and because that's what people screw up on. We talked about it before. The time is of the essence clause.
Yes.
And I told the story before, but I had a client who was selling a home. It was on Palm Beach, $23 million, if I remember correctly. Maybe it was 26. This is years ago. It was on South Ocean Avenue. And the seller was, so the buyer was a guy that liked to go around and last minute say, hey, listen, I'm not really sure. I think the roof might need, I'm not sure. So why don't you knock $2 million off and I'll buy it, right? You know, last minute. And then some people go, okay, fine. And my client didn't go, okay, fine. They said, well, no, go ahead. We're going to go through with the deal. And he had his lawyer cancel, and he canceled like 5 or 10 minutes late.
And so they held the deposit.
We did.
Yeah, it's a big deposit too on $26 million.
$500,000 worth.
Yeah. I guess if you're buying a $26 million house,
500 isn't much.
Yeah, it's like a parking ticket.
That's right.
I've seen that too, though. I mean, not on our end from the lending side, but from my wife's aspect, roof in general. That's a big thing in Florida too, with the roofs.
These days,
you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful. I mean, you have a lot of these older roofs, because even when they get in the house, the roof's between 18 and 20 years old. Some insurance companies won't even cover it now.
They're not going to need insurance.
Because then you have that aspect, that variable that comes into play was, well, can I get the house insured? And if these people go into, so that's what makes it very difficult.
Yeah, I know people now that are, a guy now that's having a problem because he let his regular homeowners insurance lapse. So of course the the mortgage company put the forced insurance on him, and which is super expensive. Yeah. I mean, it could be $350 a month normally, but it's like a $900 or more a month. I mean, it's horribly expensive. But now his roof is to the point where he can't go out and get another insurance carrier because he has to get his roof done.
He's going to get a whole new roof. And that's probably like 30 to 50 grand.
Yeah. So, you got to lay out 30, 40, 50 grand for a new roof before you.
A roof is like a woman. You need to work hard for her.
Well, it does cover you. So, I mean.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, a new roof is a lot cheaper than a woman. That's for sure.
No, it isn't. It's the same price unless you're a cheap man. or more.
I'm going to stay away from these. My wife will be watching this. I love my wife.
So can we say who your wife works for? Or?
She actually works for Century 21 Stein Prosner in Boca Raton. Okay. She's actually the head recruiter over there too. Well, she's they call her the director of growth.
Gotcha.
So she does all the recruiting for them.
Excellent.
Which she does a fantastic job. She's calling around to all these new up and coming realtors trying to find a home, and they do a good job over there at Stein Posner. They kind of set the standard.
Nice.
Because they don't just put you in and say, hey, you can come in and work under my license, come to our brokerage, we'll give you all this commission, but they kind of take you by the hand and they show you how to be successful. And that's kind of important, because we just said like a couple of minutes ago, there's probably close to 2 million realtors licensed in the state, but maybe 1% of them actually make money, So, I like to think a large portion of that comes from that office, because, Adam and Ron, who own that brokerage, they do meetings and training sessions, and they have CRMs and all these different avenues to not only motivate, but to really teach these people how to have success in the industry. So I think that's important.
Interesting. Yeah. I used to have my real estate license in New Jersey.
Oh, goodness.
A long time ago. Yeah. Back in the 80s. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see Tim go in the streets and drop someone off and pick someone up. Yeah, let's see that. How many subscribers have you got for the Legalship podcast?
I don't know, a couple.
Yeah. Couple means what, 2?
That's why I hired you.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, I need training. I need sales training.
I'll give you sales training. So do you have any interesting stories about people you've helped that have come back to you and said, man, you just saved my life? Or
I mean, gosh, there's 10 years of business. Marlon's been in business with Credimax, and I've heard them all. I don't have one in particular. It's just, it varies. I mean, I guess maybe if I can put my own personal twist on it, we had an individual come to us. She had 90 days to get out of her home. She was leasing. She wanted to buy. And she was like right on the threshold with the credit, and we were able to, and because of my background from the debt industry, assist her with repairing her credit to get her over the hump.
Yeah,
and she was able to get into her home within the 90-day mark, which was great for me because, single mom with a kid, it's tough to it pulls the heartstrings. And like I said, helping people it equally hurts as much when you can't help them. So. I've got to, over the years, kind of learn how to separate that personability of I want to help and I take it personal.
Right.
So,
yeah, you can't help everyone. That's the problem.
Okay.
What?
So can you tell me the different kind of loans? I know you may have said it before, because I remember you said, I was writing up the description. You said something about SBA loan, and I'm like,
yeah.
So give us a few.
An SBA loan is a small business loan. Typically, it's all government. It's all run by the government, and you could be a small or a medium business that might need some additional cash flow, or you're a startup with an idea and a little bit of income, and you want to grow your business or expand it. That's kind of where the sweet spot is for that, and it does come down to credit. It comes down all the same components that you would see in any lending aspect.
Right.
And you have to pay it back.
Of course. But again,
might as well get a man. Forget that.
It's not a large interest rate like some hard lenders.
No, it's a good interest rate.
Yeah, it's very good. It's
and long repayment terms on a lot of the loans.
Yeah, there's long repayments depending on how you want to structure it. And you definitely help out a lot of small businesses. And I think there's a good market for that right now, because you see a lot of companies kind of scrambling for product, especially as, President Trump was negotiating these tariffs. You saw inventories change and adjust, and they get restricted. Some of these people buy their stuff from overseas. So those people need money to get through that valley before they can get back to the peak again.
Interesting. Well, I might have someone for you, because I know they're thinking of starting a new business and they need capital. So
yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
We'll have to exchange cards before you leave here today.
I know a guy.
He knows a guy.
I know a guy.
I know.
What other questions you have?
Those are all. So there's the SBA loan
and there's the traditional mortgage, which everybody kind of.
It's the 30-year.
15-year,
20-year.
Yep. And then you have FHA, which is first-time home buyer, which is on the traditional side. With that, you can get a lower interest rate between 2.5% to 4%, and lower credit score need. So maybe 580 to 620 sweet spot, depending on your income.
Interesting.
And the down payment's always lower too.
I bought my first home with an FHA Section 235 loan.
Wow.
Well, this was. Now I'm going back to.
Is there such a thing anymore?
I don't even know. I'm going back to the 1980.
20s.
No, 1981, 82.
That's when I was born.
Well, I was buying my first house.
Oh,
when
it was
you were being
1980. 1980, 80s.
Yeah, and I was buying my first house when these people were being born. So anyway,
but
that's why I got my first house, an FHA 235 loan, which gave us a great interest rate, and I think the government gave us money for the down payment, if I remember correctly.
I'm sure. Yeah, back then they were really trying to inject, but I don't think the government's giving out much money.
That's why I was asking about single women or single moms.
No, I mean veterans.
Back then, my mom got a home. Our first home that my mom received in Jupiter was some kind of help. I don't know exactly, but it was
VA loans. They have those as well. We don't really dabble in that too much. Those are a little more difficult, but they got VA loans for veterans. That can go in there as well. And then you have your non-QM loans, which are the non-qualifying mortgages, which allow people, for an example, like an auto shop owner who doesn't have much of a tax return, but has a profit and loss and constant turnover as far as income coming in, can show that with a decent credit score.
Gotcha.
Might be a higher interest rate, but you know, there are a lot more options out there for people to obtain, you know, homes,
Gotcha.
whether it's investment or for personal use.
So what's your, here's an interesting question I'm always asked or talk about. Should I buy or should I rent?
Man, that's a tough question these days. But right now, rentals are so high.
I know,
especially down here.
If you can buy. It doesn't even make sense to rent. It seems like a waste of money.
It's tough to say because, you know, with owning, you have the insurance, you have the liability,
property taxes,
and then at the end of the day, I mean, depending on what kind of mortgage you get, I mean, you know, it really depends. Everybody's in different situations. Some people see it that you can save more money by renting, less liability, less responsibility.
True.
Or stay home with family.
Or stay home with family. But, you know, I think
for that one home together, come together.
I think with everything going on with, you know, the Bitcoin and these cryptocurrencies and stuff, my old man used to say it the best. It's the best investment's the dirt.
Right.
And so if you can buy a home, if you can own property and hold on to it,
right,
for the long run, that's your best investment. So I would have to say, if I'm going to side away, I would say own a home.
No, I think so too. It's
non-biased.
Yeah, no, but as long as but I mean, as long as you can afford it. But like you said, rents these days are. I mean, you come downtown here and you want to rent a 1-bedroom.
Oh, like $3,500.
Yeah, easy. Mm-hmm. I mean, a 2-bedroom is, you know, $4,000 or $5,000.
Then you got to pay for parking and trash, you know?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And then you get nothing for it. So, you know, at the end of if you're paying
get to walk around down street.
I guess, but if you're paying $4,000 a month rent, that's what, like $48,000 a year plus other.
You get to say expenses. You're downtown. Ooh.
Yeah.
It is, but you know, it's tough. I mean, I can see it for people that like recently divorced and they're not ready to commit. They don't know what the next 5 or 10 years hold for them.
True.
That could be one thing. Or, you know, someone who's just starting out in life and isn't ready to commit that makes sense. But, you know, if you're more in a scenario with a family or if you have a little income to play with, I think it's always great to invest in real estate.
Well, Antoinette had this situation. She had a place right over here on Avernia.
Yes.
Go ahead. Tell them about that one.
Well, my lease was coming up, and next minute she doubled the rent.
It was
$3,000. I think my rent was already
$3,200 a month.
Yeah,
for 1,600 square foot, so good rent.
So it's funny you mentioned that too, because typically that's the fine print you want to look at when you're leasing for the first time or a new place. You want to see what they can raise it to, because you don't want to live there for a year.
At one point,
that's the only.
At one point, she before the lease was up, she said. Because, you know, COVID was raising the prices and the square footage of all these other rental properties. And she was like, you think you can pay a little bit more on the rent?
She wanted us to pay more on the rent, even though we had a lease.
Yeah.
She's like, she came in with her son and said, well, we're losing money on the place and taxes have gone up and blah, 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 blah.
That's a bad business decision on her end.
Well, but then I also looked at her tax records and I said, the taxes went down. You had a reduction in taxes. Where are you going with this? But then they wanted to just almost double it. And we were like, bah.
That goes for like commercial property too. Like when I look at offices that I rent, you know, I look at the two things I look at is what the jump's going to be and try to get a capped cam. Cap the cam.
Absolutely.
Because you can, I've seen scenarios, not personally for me, but I've had other colleagues that have leased offices.
Yep.
The AC blows out, you know, on the rooftop, and this big,
but the AC also,
and they're out of pocket like 15, 20 grand. You know, on top of it, it gets to be ridiculous. So you have to really look at the fine print. Those are the two main things I look for. Is, you know, what's it going to go to the next year?
Yep.
How much can you hike me? Put a cap on that and put a cap on the cam.
Yeah, I was renting over here on what's the name of that building? The Harvey Building, right over on Datura and Olive.
Datura, yeah.
And was there for a number of years. And finally, a new group came in and bought the building, and they wanted to, you know, dramatically increase the rent. And I had actually rented most of the 8th floor and was renting. I had my square footage and was renting down the hallway and around the corner to two other law firms.
Yeah. And they all worked well together.
They all worked well together, and we had, you know, I wasn't paying anything.
That's a great balance because it was low. The price was low.
Price was low. I gave them.
And he decked out the place.
Totally decked it out.
Good tenant. Yeah, good tenant.
But these new group came in and wanted to just, you know, they wanted to start all over, and they wanted to wreck the place and gut it, and
which they did.
Which they did now, and it has been rented in 3 years. And that's the amazing thing. I'm still
and
amazed.
they raised the price.
So if I go up to the 8th floor right now, the Harvey building, I rented most of the 8th floor. Now it's completely gutted, and there hasn't been anyone in there in 2.5 years.
So is mine.
Seeing that's
How does that work?
Funny you mentioned that. Is that
you're empty too.
The old landmark down in Miami, the Bank of America building. That's like so notorious of a landmark down there. Is not even half occupied.
It's amazing.
And they've had it up for sale. They can't sell it. Nothing's been remodeled in it because they can't afford to upkeep it.
Right.
They're just not getting what they need from it.
I've never understood it. I say it. I don't know how many times I say it. I walk down Clematis. I walk around West Palm Beach. We live downtown. I've been living downtown since 2009. These commercial properties that just sit for idle for years and years, and no one, they keep asking for this high rent. And like, if I'm getting, I always think like, $2,500 a month is better than $0 a month. And I don't understand. Maybe there's some tax advantage.
I agree. And the longer you go without that income, the more you lose.
I just don't understand it.
I think the problem you see nowadays too with office space in general is a lot of people are working remotely. They can earn money from home, the bed, the on the go. They can be on vacation, the Keys, and still earning money.
Absolutely.
So you see a lot more remote opportunities with technology.
Yeah. All right.
I think,
You got everything?
Did you guys get everything? Did you guys get everything?
So let me ask you to tell the listeners once again about your company, where it's located, how to get in touch with you.
Sure. Credimax Lending Group in Boca Raton, Glades and 441. You can reach us at Credimax at CREDIMAX there's options on there. You can even apply for, to see if what you might qualify for, whether it's mortgage or SBA. And you can reach out to us, and love to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Come on in for a free consultation. Let's talk.
Exactly.
And I'll put everything in the description at the bottom.
She'll put some of the descriptions. And if you're like Mark just said, if you're even thinking about it and you have these questions that we just talked about, should I rent? Should I buy? Can I buy? Just give Mark a call and stop in, and he'll be able to talk to you about it, and they can figure out, because a lot of times people they don't take that first step. They just sit there and keep going, I don't think I can afford to buy. I don't think I can afford to buy. And they probably can.
Every great idea materializes with initiation.
Exactly. So
just a thought.
So there you go. Call Mark and get the process started and go buy your house. Or your business. Or like my case, refinancing.
I know a guy.
You know a guy. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for listening. Mark, thanks for
thanks for
coming on.
Thank you.
Mark, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you soon. And remember, it's not just talk, it's
legal shit.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And